Ladies and gentlemen, Hydro Electronics, and I'm going to hand it over to PJ.
All right, hey everybody. Stop in time. All right, who am I using?
The comeback kid himself, Rash.
Alrighty.
All right, this will be a lot of fun. All right, thanks guys for all your donations towards this bid war. I'm really glad you picked Rash because he's easily the most volatile. So he's either just going to completely steamroll things or just get murdered. And it's going to be entertaining either way, so it should be good. I'm PJ, and I'm going to be joined here by Mecha Richter, TMR. Yes!
Nailed it.
And Clage. And so, I think we're good to go. Yeah? All right. 3, 2, 1, stopping time. All right, so Battletoads Arcade is the fifth and final Battletoads game. It was released in '94, and up until very recently, there was no way to play this game outside of arcades. There was no home release, but it was included in the Rare Replay collection, which was released some years ago for the Xbox One. So if you're interested in playing this game, if it looks fun to you, then you can go ahead and jump for that. One quick note is that I am playing this on original hardware. I have the board and all the other stuff sitting just to the right of me, hopefully not catching on fire. And I am playing on maximum difficulty, which is a difficulty that is not accessible on the Xbox One version. And that just means that basically if I get hit, I will lose about 80% of my health. And recovering health is not a thing that you can really do in this game. Nice. All right, so this is your standard Battletoads game. You've got a dash attack, you've got an aerial attack. There's a boot attack. This one here. The main thing that I want to do in this game is essentially knock down an enemy and then kick him into his friends. That's the best way to group. And once you kick an enemy in this game, he becomes a projectile that can then damage any other surrounding enemies.
Yeah, as you can imagine, it's a Battletoads game, so the difficulty is through the roof. But unlike a lot of the other Battletoads games, this is almost entirely melee combat based. There are some stages that utilize some other mechanics, but the most important part, like PJ said, is grouping and managing where the enemies are on screen and managing their hit stun, basically, by kicking them into one another and putting them in the down status.
It's also worth to mention that these Battletoads, you can play the three players together, which is the three toads, unlike any of the previous versions.
Yep.
So it really escalates the fun when you play with a lot of people.
Yeah. It's very fun. The difficulty goes through the roof with more players on screen.
Yeah.
You get hit, you die.
This is easily the most punishing arcade game that I've ever played.
Yeah.
It's very much a game where when you're in control, things are going well, and when you lose control, it's all over. So the previous two waves in this stage went really well, and those are a primary source of anguish. Because if the mace grunty, the big pig with the mace, if he decides to not do something nice to you, you can be in a world of hurt. But everything worked out well, and we finished with full health.
Yeah.
So we're good. One really important thing to note here is that you don't recover health between stages here. It's based on difficulty level, and I think on normal, if you're anywhere below half health, it'll bring you up to half, or maybe it's 7 health. On hard mode, it only refills my health up to 3 if I'm below 3, and it's nothing. Like, that's a single jab from the weakest enemy in the game will kill you instantly at that health. So it's more or less just a consolation prize.
Yeah, so you're seeing every time PJ does the dash boot and knocks enemies into other enemies, that damage actually transfers. So it's as if he hits a rat and that rat flies into 3 other rats, they all take the same damage.
Yes.
Yeah, the only way to recover health as well is eating the flies.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, and the fly health... Okay. So 40% health from a snowball.
Yep. No, super fair damage.
The fly health that you recover is really, really minimal compared to the damage that you take from enemies. So it's pretty common. Like, if you get hit in stage 1 and you lose like half your health, By the end of stage 2, if you don't get hit by anything and you eat every single fly, you might be at full health again. All right, so this is where we find one of the first weapons here. This is the gun, which is unique to this game. It's not in the other Battletoads games. The gun is immensely powerful. So we want to collect the gun, and we want the enemies to not shoot us. So it's a really big problem in this stage if you don't know where the enemies are coming from. Because those SWAT rats... really tight screen here? Okay, we're good. The SWAT rats, they'll shoot and the lasers will go all the way across the screen. And you can't plane change in this stage. I broke the camera. That happens sometimes. It's a little bit slower, but it's fun.
It's PJ.
It's PJ. All right, so I want to carry the gun to this wave here. So all of the spawns in this game, it's really unique for a beat 'em up. All of the spawns are completely fixed. Where all the enemies spawn, exactly how many enemies spawn, and their initial actions are all fixed. Rah, 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 rah.
These mice look really innocent, but when you see them jump up and you hear the little squeaky sound, they are trying to squish PJ, and it will do a lot of damage.
Yeah, it does about 6 health.
Yeah.
Everything in this game just does a ridiculous amount of damage on this difficulty. I'm going to try a dangerous and stupid jump. Okay.
Nicely done.
All right, I want to keep 3 shots in this gun in case the elves get away from me. 3. This will bring me to full health here. Not much further.
So what is the plot in this game?
I don't know.
Okay.
They're toads and they battle.
Yeah, okay.
Rah, rah.
You also notice when PJ gets a weapon drop, once he picks it up, if there are multiple weapons on the ground, you'll see him move away from the other weapons because the game prioritizes picking up a weapon over attacking. There's a stand jab into 50%. Fair damage.
Okay. So this attack that I'm using here is an execute. It's an instant kill, but you're uh-oh.
Yep. Welcome to Battletoads Arcade.
Wow, they showed you what for?
Yeah, they did. It's really unfortunate because they're only able to be booted when the dizzy animation is above their head, and I had no window to kick him. All right, so this is Karnath. He has 30 seconds of invincibility at the start of the fight. 5, I think?
The count of
6,
5.
7.
Yeah, so he's hitting them right now just to bring him to top speed.
Yeah. So basically, none of these hits are actually doing damage, but PJ's making Karnath basically more angry, so he attacks faster, and that's going to speed up the fight for when he is vulnerable.
Yeah, so now he's at max speed. So now I can start smashing on him. Karnath does 80% damage if he hits me.
It's important to note, only the full spike boot dash attack actually does damage. If PJ gets a normal dash attack, that doesn't count for a hit. Karnath needs 26 hits after he's out of iframes to die.
So Karnath, he'll target where you are when he's at a certain point of his windup. But sometimes he misfires and he'll juke and just strike somewhere else. And he's done that like 7 or 8 times in this fight, which is really, really scary. Okay.
Nicely done.
Nice.
All right. Not where I would have liked to lose a life, but it's all right. I don't
There
know.
was a reindeer he kept killing off screen that you never seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so stage 3 is my favorite stage. We get to see a lot of new enemies here. I particularly like the wrenchies. We'll see them in this next wave. Like, they're just minding their own business. They walk on screen and start fixing stuff in the background. This should be fine. That'll be fine.
And shout out to David Wise for the soundtrack.
Yeah, for sure. All right, good. Double hit? Nice.
Nice. Very good.
So sometimes when you kick one rat into another, you get some collision bugs, and they just hit each other multiple times. And every time they interact like that, it does full smash attack damage. The stick we didn't mention, we saw it in stage 1, but the stick does the damage of 1 smash attack, and you're completely invincible during the swing. You get 4 swings before it breaks.
self-explanatory.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
General Vermin not playing nice. There we go.
He's fine.
Yeah.
You don't want to mess with Rush.
No, man. Okay, good.
Yep.
Good.
The gold rats are particularly dangerous
Good.
enemies.
Yeah, those are the highest aggression, highest health enemies. Health is at a really good spot right now. This burner over here is actually a legitimate threat. I think it does 6 damage if I touch it. And you can hit the enemies into it, and it'll instantly kill them. The one exception is the Frazzles. These guys here. They are immune to fire, which I didn't know until like a week ago, because there was just never a reason to know.
You also noticed the Frazzle had a dizzy animation there. PJ's on max difficulty, so he was up and back fighting before the dizzy animation sprite left the screen.
Yeah, you have a super small window to hit these guys with an OTG, an on-the-ground attack, which makes this kick in particular really tough, because if you whiff it, you whiff into the burner, and you take a ton of damage, and the enemies live. This wave also is a really scary one. I need this throw. I need this throw to hit this gold rat, and it didn't.
Nice save.
This health is still okay.
Yeah, you're kind of seeing how Battletoads Arcade works, especially on this difficulty. When PJ groups things correctly, again, because he knows where all the spawns are, they're fixed, it can look really smooth, but one very minor misstep and you are losing most of your health.
So that guy, the guns do a ton of damage, but there's a really interesting programming consideration that they made. And only the last bullet does damage to the General Vermin.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't apply to the rats.
Mice noises.
Yeah.
Mouse noises.
So what I'm trying to do is, since the General Vermin counterattack after 2 hits, and the counterattack's completely invincible, Rare programmed it so that you'd fire the gun at them. The first 2 bullets would trigger a counterattack, and the damaging bullet would fly through harmlessly. So I'm doing a jump and trying to whiff 2 or 3 bullets over their head so that only the damaging bullet hits them. This is censored now. It's off screen.
Nicely done. That's a great wave.
Don't worry about him.
Yeah. Yeah, PJ mentioned counterattacks. There's a reason you don't see him just running up and doing the Toad's standard attack string much, because almost every enemy in this game can punish him for it by just counterattacking and putting him in a very bad position.
Can I get a quick donation in?
Yes.
It's from a friend of yours, PJ. Fatboard.
Good guy.
$50 says, had to take a break from eating cake to do this. $25 to getting Maida to sing my friend to my friend Little Lobotomy Chicken song, and the other $25 to get Rosa named Clage for reasons.
Thanks,
Have
PJ.
fun, everyone.
Fighting a good fight.
Yeah.
And wait, why is it getting dark? Mighty Foot, no!
All right, so General Vermin, they're a unique enemy. All smash attacks, all attacks at all, really, do 1 damage. And the Nutcracker attack there does 4. Bullets also do 4. I think that's should be okay. Okay.
Yep, nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Touchdown. All right, so I'm going to do an extremely risky strat because I'm dumb.
Can confirm.
I'm going to try and carry this gun to the end of this screen. And the reason this is so risky is because while I have the gun equipped, I can't do standing attacks, I can't do grabs, and I can't do aerials. So I can only dash attack to clear these waves. And if I get hit, I am almost guaranteed to die.
Nice.
All right, here we go. Nice.
Nicely done.
I can't fire the gun. I can't fire the gun. I can't. Okay, I'm going to have to use my backup button. My attack button died.
Of course it did.
Let me think here. It's this button?
Is PJ.
Okay. This is actually a really big problem here.
Okay. This is a backup loop that PJ has for this set of General Vermin, which is not terribly difficult to set up when your equipment doesn't malfunction and you're not PJ.
Damn it, PJ.
Glad you thought ahead and mapped multiple buttons.
I mapped a multiple attack button to my controller in case this happened.
Speaking of, $200 from Bannon that says, don't screw this up, PJ.
Okay. Let me think here.
Oh. Nice cloud there. It's a constellation hologram.
So Robo-Rat is actually one of the most difficult bosses in the game because he has the same properties that other bosses do, where he has long periods of invulnerability at each of his different phases. And then the big thing is you're seeing the timing of his attacks. PJ's utilizing a loop that basically turns him the wrong way to avoid these attacks. But the timing on this is very tight, and it's very easy to get off sequence. And controlling Robo-Rat is not easy.
I think we got him now.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
So yeah, you're seeing he does a couple dash attacks and then does another dash attack the wrong way, which actually moves him so far past the hitbox that it confuses Robo-Rat into attacking the wrong way.
All right, so phase 2 is good. This phase is super, super dangerous. I need him to whiff an attack because this phase has some really awkward counterattack energy that stores up. Cool.
Yeah, kicking the scrap into the Robo-Rat does the damage of about 2.5 dash attacks, so it's a good safe strat to set up.
All right, now this guy just counterattacks after every third hit. This is the easiest phase here.
It doesn't matter how late the third hit is. He'll only counterattack after the third.
Yeah, so PJ could do 2 hits, walk away, and drink a soda for 20 minutes, come back, and the third hit, he would still counterattack. Nicely done.
Yeah.
All right. So this button being broken is going to be a pretty big problem here. All right, we should be okay for this stage. Yeah, we'll get to stage 4 when we get there. Now's a good time for donations, though.
All right, I've got $100 from Robert McCoy, who says, good luck to PJ on your Battletoads run. Hopefully you'll get another Deathless run. Well, but I can't give him this money because it'll go out of bounds. Put this money towards naming Rosa in Final Fantasy IV Clade because he is our prettiest princess.
I tried.
And I have a $500 donation.
Wow.
That says, I've been looking forward to this PJ run all week. I became a fan after witnessing a replay of the spectacle that was all weapons, ghouls, and ghosts. I hope that legendary run will make a return someday. Donation goes to PJ's Choice, which at this point is a new attack button, I think.
Yeah.
Because he is awesome. Long live the Scythe crossbow combo.
All right, so this stage is by far Rash's worst stage. Rash, when he attacks, his hurt box extends beyond his hitbox. So actually attacking with Rash puts you in more danger, like that. So what happened is, that's now a coin?
Could you just try not being you for one run ever?
So this is... All right, my attack button was adding coins, so my stick is doing something. All right, whatever. But what happened there is that I tried to attack, and when I attacked, it extended my hurt box so that the Grog that was behind him was able to attack me. And once he attacked me, then it was all over. So Rash really struggles in this stage.
Yeah, Rash's big problem is you see his main attack is the rapid kicks. They have an okay reach, but Rash's hurt box actually extends past out where his legs reach, so he can just be smacked while using that attack really easily by enemies. And like all the enemies in this game, if you get hit once, you're probably getting hit multiple times for most of your health bar, if not all of it.
Yeah. So one thing that I try and do in this stage is redirect smash attacks. So an attack, if an enemy is at a really low health value, an attack will transform into a smash attack if they're low health. So I try and weaken one enemy and then redirect that smash attack onto others. So I'm going to try and do it again here. Kill these two and then redirect the smash onto this Black Grog, which didn't quite work out.
Yeah, PJ has no way to trigger the smash attack manually. He can't do an input or a dash input or anything like that and get what he wants. It just has to be, the enemy has to have low enough health for it to trigger.
Yeah, this stick is having problems.
Yeah, I noticed.
So we are pretty much guaranteed to not make it through the rest of the stage without dying, because the supers, the full screen supers that you saw, are required to clear certain waves with them. And I just used 2 there, which means there's going to be 1 wave later I'm going to have to try and do manually, and that's a problem with them.
What, super difficult wave with a stick that isn't working right? I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, with the character that has the worst hitboxes.
Yeah, no, everything's good.
Or what PJ calls Tuesday.
All right. So we have 1 more ugly mug here. And we're going to redirect a smash attack from his eyeballs onto one of the grogs that's coming up. Get rid of him.
Nice.
And then we are going to have to try and do things here.
Yeah, you're seeing even with really good spacing, PJ's just getting knocked out of his attack, and that's entirely a rash thing.
Did those die after? Oh no, they just went away.
They were regrouping.
Yeah, the other Toads could actually do that strat fairly reliably because they have good hitboxes in this level.
Yeah.
But again, Rash struggles with his lackluster reach.
Yeah. Yeah, the other issue too is that when I have a very small window to hit those grogs before they hit me, and if I attack early, then they get free hits on me. And when they stagger their approach like that, there's really nothing that I can do. All right, so I'm going to try and redirect a smash attack from a power-up.
Nice.
Okay?
It's also important to note that when all these Grog enemies are on screen, only 2 will ever be aggressive at a time. So even if there's 20 on screen, only 2 of them are ever going to try to attack PJ, which actually makes grouping very difficult. He has ways to try and kind of manipulate which ones are aggressive, but it can sometimes throw a curveball.
All right. So now I have to do alternate grip with back-off button to try and play through stage 5. But in theory, this is a good amount of health. So we'll see what happens. Mm-hmm. Stage 5 is kind of set up to be... Yeah. All right.
We're clapping for the stick, not you.
Yeah, no, you can do it, buddy. You can do it. Stage 5 is kind of set up to be like the ultimate stage in the game. This game is unfinished, and that's been confirmed by Rare. The extent of which we're not really sure, but I know at the very least it's missing a boss. The boss of Stage 2, which was Karnath, is supposed to be Admiral Oink, who we'll see a portrait of later. And Stage 4, the stage we just played, was supposed to have Karnath as the boss. Mm-hmm. And I suspect there was supposed to be a Stage 7 instead of just ending after Stage 6. But whether or not there was, this stage is kind of set up to be the ultimate level. So they just throw a bunch of like really diabolical waves at you, like some enemies with just very different aggression and different health levels. Okay.
Yeah, the boxes do a ton of damage, and I say the word ton because trying to figure out the actual amount of damage they do has proved inconsistent. So
yeah, it also varies on difficulty. Mm-hmm. For some reason, the boxes on hardest settings, which I'm playing on now, do more damage than on default, which is really strange. But it works in my favor, so yes. I'm not gonna question it. It's one of the few things that works in my favor. All right, so this is a staggered wave here. So the time it takes me to clear this wave is dependent entirely on how long it takes me to kill the final enemy. So I just want to make sure that I'm in place for him immediately when he spawns and just get rid of him. But this is where the overlapping weapon hitboxes is a problem. So like these guys, when I kill them, drop the gun. But if they drop it too close to me, then I can't swing the stick anymore. Mm-hmm.
This is the same strat from earlier where he's jumping to make sure only the last bullet of the gun hits the General Vermin, so it actually does real damage.
Three. This guy doesn't want to get in range. All right. So it's super, super important in this stage in particular to manage the weapons properly. Because if like the game's really mean about it. It puts all these really enticing weapons in front of you and then gives you a wave of like 4 low-level enemies. And then immediately afterwards, we'll give you like a 4 gold rat wave that just clobbers you if you don't save them. Mm-hmm. So I need to save, like, in this particular instance, I need to save that stick or that box for the wave 2 from now. Otherwise, I don't actually know if it's possible to clear without dying. It's just some really, really tough enemies. So, to make sure I don't lose the stick, I want to stay on the left side so the screen doesn't scroll it off.
As you're seeing, this is not a beat 'em up where you can improv if things go awry. You are probably just going to die.
Yeah, and this game doesn't have a super joy, which is like a staple of most beat 'em ups. So like you get in trouble, you push the super joy button, you do the spinning roundhouse kick or whatever. You lose a tiny bit of health, but you're out of the bad situation. In this game, it's just, oh, you're in a bad situation? Well, give us money.
Yeah.
If the price is right, we'll let you out of it.
The closest thing PJ has for an escape style attack is to try and mash out a smash attack. And as you can imagine, when 2 enemies are comboing you for all your health, that doesn't work very well.
Yeah, in many cases, you'll have like a floating 3-frame window where if you guess exactly when they're going to let up with the jab string, you can mash out in that 3-frame window. But usually it doesn't work. All right, so... This is a super dangerous wave. All right.
Nicely done. If PJ misses any of that, he is almost guaranteed to die.
Yeah, those mace grunties are programmed to attack on the frame that you are vulnerable. And your vulnerability changes based on when you dash cancel out of your dash attack animation. So they literally read when you're vulnerable and attack on that frame. And they just have like a 2 or 3 frame startup. So you've got to hit that window or else you're dead.
And there was Admiral Oink right there, that portrait.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I walked past him. What a shame. All right, so I'm holding the stick here just for the iframes. It only uses ammo if it hits something, and you're completely invincible during the entire swing, which is really good. So I'm just using that to dodge these boulders. And what I want to do is save the stick and, again, whiff some attacks during the next wave, because it's a 2+3 teal plus gold rat wave that's super, super staggered. And I want to make sure I have stick for the last gold rat. So I'm just going to get into position here and start swinging to waste some time. Now we hit.
And keep in mind, there was a gap between those swings that PJ was whipping. If one of the rats times it right, it can actually hit him out of those.
Okay, here we go. Oh, there it was.
Magic throw. All right, I'll let PJ get settled here, and I'll explain what's going on. Yep.
This might be okay. I'm going to take the counterattack.
Yep.
3 magic throws. Wow.
So this is a unique thing that Rash has to deal with.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, the General Vermin, especially these ones, have a bad habit of doing what PJ just referred to as magic throw, and that is General Vermin can grab, like many enemies in this game can. For whatever reason, they can grab Rash from over half screen away and just yoink your mind now. So it's not that PJ really did anything wrong or failed to set anything up. General Vermin basically just said no.
All right, so Big Blag is... I might be safe. I'm not safe.
Yeah.
That's fine. I can mash out. All right, so Big Blag, he's alternating small phase and big phase, and after every 5 hits, he'll transform. the big phase we can actually hit 6 times because he's stunned for a little bit. Okay, if I don't miss any other attacks, then we could be okay. The goal is to kill him in 2 small and 2 big phases.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the invincibility period, just like the other bosses.
Yeah,
do.
Yeah,
for every phase, actually, when he transitions out of small or big.
can't mesh out of it.
Yeah. That's not a...
That was the last hit, too. That was unfortunate.
Yeah, that's not a counterattack that Big Black just did, by the way. That's just his standing jab.
Yeah, Big Black has a standing, like, 2-frame jab with hyper armor. It's really rough. But I should have been able to hit him there. I missed 1 attack, so we have to do another phase. That's unfortunate. Hitboxes were not in my favor. So he currently has 0 health. Like, literally 0 health. But he can't die when he's in small form. So the first attack here is going to kill him, even though he's invincible. Yeah, so really unfortunate fight there. But it is what it is. All right, now the good news is the last stage only needs the attack button, so I shouldn't have to do the awkward grip. So I had to play that whole that stage with my thumb on attack and index finger on jump because my normal attack button broke.
Yeah, that was shockingly good. Other than Magic Throw, you were on your way to a deathless stage.
Yeah, Magic Throw is a problem. All right, so this is the final level. It's a 10-minute long auto-scroller. It's a really neat level, actually. I didn't like it much when I first started playing, but it's really cool. So he threaded the needle. He got the 1-frame thread again. Nice.
Yeah, you'll notice when PJ is firing the pea shooter here, it doesn't fire in a straight line. It actually staggers back and forth.
Yeah.
And PJ can only aim in 8 directions.
Come
however,
on, you.
However, he can direct bullets to kind of get past the 8-way aiming by firing as the turn animations are happening. But again, because the gun kind of wiggles back and forth between each shot, it's not a exact science to get bullets to go where he wants them to.
Yeah, the bigger issue there is that since the bullets don't always fire true, you know, they oscillate between high and low. If you're on a particularly bad cycle with the high and low bullets, some targets are impossible to shoot. They just thread the needle. And that's why I got hit by the fireball. It actually happened in my run, my PB, which is why I looked into it. And it was a one-frame dodge. So, all right. Well, we're well on our way. In this stage, there are 3 power-ups. There's the spread gun or 3-way, the flamethrower, and I call it laser just because I'm dumb, but it's the lightning gun. The flamethrower and the lightning gun are super, super good. They're really high-value power-ups, so I want to make sure that I get them at the right time. And all these power-ups spawn on a fixed cycle, so they're all on a timer. So I'm kind of manipulating when I kill these waves and when I use the weapons to make sure that I get a weapon that I need at the right time. So I'm going to get a flamethrower here, and that's going to be good for these things, these drones.
It's also important to note that PJ cannot move around the ship and fire at the same time, so he actually has to stagger his button presses to move and shoot, so to speak. That's actually not really a great tactic to use with the flamethrower or the lightning gun because they take a while to reach full distance with shooting.
Yeah.
So just staggering and mashing to move and fire at the same time actually means he's shorting himself on the range he can reach. Another interesting little thing, you might notice that PJ was kind of shooting the background, quote-unquote. All those bullet holes you're seeing in the up and down background area actually block shots. So
Yeah.
if he was firing at an enemy and then those, hit the background, they don't actually stay live. Like, they're just wasted bullets at that point. So PJ's kind of firing to get those out of the way so he can actually shoot what he wants to shoot instead of the background.
Okay. So there's a pretty scary part here. I'm not sure what that power-up is. Okay. It normally spawns from the right. That's the first time I think I've seen it from the left. Maybe I just haven't noticed before.
Are you saying that's never happened before?
Nope, I'm not.
Okay.
Okay. It's not absolutely ideal. We want to clear that previous wave as quickly as possible so that we have the 3-wave for these things. But it worked out just fine.
Yeah. The power-ups aren't based on like an ammo consumption thing. They literally just have a timer. So from the moment PJ picks it up, it's active until that timer runs out.
Yeah. So here's a really cute part. At some point throughout the stage, it resets the power-up timer, and it guarantees that you get certain drops. So it guarantees a flamethrower drop here. Okay, but depending on the luck that you get with the debris that's falling and the luck with your bullet trajectory, sometimes it's not actually possible to hit. And then you're in deep trouble because the fire rate of your bullet, your pea shooter, can't actually clear away the debris in time. Okay, this is the only true random part of... well, that's not true. The debris is true random, but this is the scariest wave here. Did not need to.
Yeah, the giant spinning attack there is actually, even though we just talked about this game not having a Super Joy, that's the closest thing you would have. Nicely done.
All right. So for that wave, I'm kind of just holding on to all of the super attacks. I want to save all of them for the red drone wave to make sure that I can live through it. I want to save 2 for the Robo Manus fight at the end because that fight is on a very strict timer. But we're okay. We have 3. So this guy, we don't want to kill as quickly as we can. We want to wait for the flamethrower to spawn. So I'm kind of sandbagging to collect 1 more power up before the final boss, and I want to carry that power up into the final boss fight itself. And it lets me get a lot of damage on the 0th cycle. Okay, so we're going to stall a bit until he comes back. And that should have been long enough to force a 3-way spawn here. All right.
Nice. So this is Robo Manus. He's the final boss of the game. Again, unfortunately unfinished. There is no Dark Queen fight in this game.
Okay, I think we should be good. If you're fast enough, he won't do a fireball ring attack. This is actually ideal, though, for what I want. Okay. That's a really unfortunate place for me to have hit that. So that's the first budgeted use of the super. It takes a long time to clear those burners away. I think we're slightly behind power-up cycle. Let's see. The flamethrower should spawn now. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, basically PJ's trying to maintain a window. He doesn't actually want to get ahead on power-up cycles.
I need the 3-way here. Perfect.
Yep.
Okay, we're good. We're good.
Yep, nicely done.
So I have to manage all of the waves, how much damage I do, and when I collect certain power-ups there, because I want to end with the flamethrower because it just does so much damage. Mm-hmm. But if I'm too fast, then okay. If I'm too fast, then I have the flamethrower for this phase, and you can't actually hit the hands with it. And because you can't hit the hands with it, the game will not spawn flamethrowers or lasers in that phase. So we want to get this one. This laser is super important because it does a ton of damage to him. But if I'm too slow throughout the rest of the fight, then the game will try and spawn it using the same power-up cycle, but replace the laser with a 3-way. So I lose all of the DPS that I just had there. So we're on good pace again here for this fight. Now is actually a pretty okay time for donations, believe it or not.
Okay. So I have $150 from Goonie Goon 84 who says, I'm really enjoying this tech demo of Let's Play Battletoads Arcade. It's always the best way to watch PJ play. Stay strong. You'll get through this. Buttons? You don't need no stinking buttons. $150 from Robert Stein that sums everything up perfectly, which is It's really not a PJ run unless something goes horrifically wrong. $100 from Avwolf. A friend of No Name hooked me on GDQ last year with a run by PJ, so it's only right that my first donation is a PJ run. Here's $100 to knocking cancer down with a pipe and giving it the boot. And $25 from Trojan Duty says, yo, what up, PJ? It's Trojan.
Yo, Trojan.
It's good to see Battletoads Arcade. This is incredibly hard but fun to watch. It's time to score some touchdowns.
All right, so thanks for all the donations, guys. Keep them up. We are closing in on the end of this. Robomanus goes like Dragon Ball Z mode, and I only have 8% health now. I only have 3% health now. And then 1%. And for a perfect fight, we will kill him with this gun here before the next power-up spawns. Let's see how we do. All right, he's dead. All right, GG. All right, and we did kill him before the laser spawn, so that was a really good stage. Excellent. All right, I don't actually know or care what my PB is in real time because this game has an in-game timer. So we're just going to sit through the ending and see what the in-game time is here. So my PB with Rash is a, let me think. I think it's a 38.25. All of my PBs are 1 credit clears. I actually have a deathless run with Pimple, which is pretty amazing. I think that's the only deathless. I think I'm the only person that's ever gotten a deathless playthrough of this game. That was at home when technology worked. So I apologize for the mishaps here.
But we do get some sweet art to end the run on.
As the Toads are the heroes in this game, they escaped a mangled wreck completely unscathed. Using the teleporters that they just happen to have with them, they travel back to base. Totally awesome.
Boo that pun.
41-11. Womp.
For a broken button, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys. Stay tuned for more of the anthropomorphic block coming up next. More Battletoads NES.